Good morning and welcome to my hobby table once again. This is going to be old school video number 4. But before I get into showing you what the subject of that is, I want to take a quick moment to say please take a look at the video descriptions of my videos from the last few going forward. I've got some new links there, updated links to some people that I purchase items from, like my engine RC gaskets and my bearings, and of course a good friend of mine, Rob Reynolds, his laser cutting wood airplane short kits. So none of these people are sponsors. I have no paid sponsors for this channel. Everything you see me doing here is solely paid for by myself and or the donations and contributions to people from people like you that assist me. I have no paid sponsors. I get no discounts on any of these things. These links are simply a means to show and to share with you some of the things that I use for what I do here. So if you look on the table today, on the table is yet another radio system, and this one is just phenomenal. And I had been searching for one of these specifically just to show you because they're just incredibly wonderful vintage pieces. Now this is a Futaba Gold system is what I will call it. I don't know a whole lot about when these came out. I believe that obviously these were out in the early, if not mid to late 80s for sure, and I don't know what the production span life was. This particular system is a FP-7FG/K. I'm not sure what the /K means, but it is about as complete as I could find for an affordable price. Some of the things in here include this big NiCad charger that's got 2 ports on here that you plug in cables, one that goes into the transmitter and one that goes into the battery pack. So that's here. It came with 4 servos and the original Futaba FP-7FG AM 7-channel receiver. This is a 7-channel radio system. Now this thing is phenomenal because it just is. It's a phenomenal piece of history. Here's the receiver pack, Futaba power pack. NiCad batteries, obviously, that's what these are. Now this it does charge, and it is an operational system. I don't know that it's all that used. It didn't come super complete as far as all the servo horns. There was some of that type of thing was missing. Let's pull this transmitter out, and of course it's got these nice AM style flags. So this is channel 52, as you can see, and I'm thinking about maybe just holding this, but this thing is just incredible. I recall back when I was learning in the late 80s, and I was still in the military, stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base. My flight instructor was Tech Sergeant Rogers, and I recall vividly him having one of these Futaba Gold systems and always going to the field, and he'd always take his top flight P-39 Airacobra powered by a Craft 61 engine, and it had Robart retracts, and it was just this phenomenal thing. And I just remember seeing him fly. He was my flight instructor, and so that's kind of one of my earliest memories of this type of a system. And I believe he had this exact same thing here. It was at least a 5 or 6 channel. This is a 7 channel. I don't know that there's a whole lot more to show here in this box. So let me just kind of focus on the transmitter here. Now, so the things that are striking about this is that it's strikingly beautiful. This is a very good example. I think it's very low time if used much at all. It's still, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that battery still is showing that it has a little bit of charge to it. Whether it has any capacity or not, I don't know. Let me see here real quick. I don't think that this battery pack has any capacity left. These things were charged. I had them on charge for a long time, and they're still kind of plugged in here. I've got a video that I can show if I can't prove that this actually works right now. The thing that's challenging with this system is these old style connectors. They have these 3 prongs, 2 are closely spaced, and that's the power and ground, and then power positive and negative, and then your ground or your neutral here. These are really not made for a whole lot of insertions, as I'm finding. And I think there's an issue with this particular connector here because sometimes it just doesn't want to work. I don't know if that's going to have any capacity whatsoever at all. But I did have these things. There we go. So there was an issue here. So you can see. Can you see that? It is working. There's just an issue with the connection here. So this is an operational system. Let me just kind of put this back down here. I want to go back to the transmitter because this is where the real beauty of it is. I just think this transmitter is just so phenomenally beautiful. One of the things that is so cool about this is you'll notice there's not an antenna on it. Why? Well, because the antenna gets stored in the base of the unit here, which is just awesome. So you just hold it there, or it gets stored there. Let me turn this off. It gets stored there, and I don't even think I've extended this thing fully because it's a long, long antenna. AM system, 72.83 megahertz. I don't know that there's any kind of there's a serial number on here, but I don't see anything that shows me a date code at all. One of the nice things about this, one of the cool features that I remember specifically was there's this built-in stand, so you can just stand it up. And I remember seeing Tech Sergeant Rogers have this thing standing up on the grass there while he's fiddling with his tuning his engine or whatever. He's doing this. He doesn't have to sit there and hold it or lay it on the ground like that. It was really neat. So hopefully you can see these things if this wants to. So the switches here is, this is our elevator dual rate. This is our landing gear switch. This is rudder elevator mixing, or rudder to aileron mixing. This other large one here is our rudder dual rate. And then here we've got, let's see, aileron dual rate. And then this is a trainer switch. So it's got a trainer port here, and here's your charge port. You'd sit here and hold it, and then if your student pilot starts to freak out and does something wrong, you just let go. So in the back of this system, there's a little sliding cover here, and this is where you make a lot more adjustments. So here you've got like your dual rate reversing switch and the potentiometer here. So this whole little square is for your aileron. ATV, I can't remember what ATV stands for. It's kind of like an exponential, I believe. Left, right. This one here is elevator. You got your dual rate switch. And then here's throttle, reverse. So here you've got all these things, and you've got other switches here where you can reverse the normal operation for your gear, flap, auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2. Now the thing that is interesting about this is that you don't see a compartment for the battery. The battery is fully encapsulated in here. So what that means is that as much as it may come as a shock to you, I'm going to do a look inside of this transmitter at some point in the future because I want to see what would be involved in upgrading this to more modern type batteries so that I could actually consider using this system. I don't have access to a spectrum analyzer anymore to see what the transmitting wavelength or waveform looks like anymore. I don't know if they make such a thing where you could do a loose coupling on against your cell phone or not. I don't know. Maybe if there's a cell phone app where you can kind of get a general. I'm pretty sure that this is in really good operating condition. But there are no narrowband 1991. I think it was 1991 gold stickers then. So this predates that. But so I'm thinking seriously about doing a look inside here, and it looks to me like I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 external screws. I don't think these are just holding on the bracket. 9 external screws that might allow this rear cover to just come off so I can check out the the battery pack. And see, I've got, you know, some marginal soldering skills. I've done some soldering in the past. So I can also, if I need to change to different servos, lower power servos maybe for chance, instead of using these, because one of them, when I had it plugged in, seemed like it was kind of iffy. I can cut those leads off and still use, if I were to use this, I would still use that AM transmitter or the AM receiver there, and just cut off leads and resolder leads and that type of thing. But anyway, so this has been a old school video, an old Futaba Gold system, and this thing is just so beautiful. It's one of those things where, especially with this feature here, that you could just stand it up and put it on a shelf as just something to look at, because it's really that visually stunning. And I don't know if this video will do it justice or not, but it is a beautiful, beautiful system. So that concludes this video. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks to those people that do support and contribute to this channel. I couldn't do it without your assistance. Thank you all.